Hello, welcome to my kitchen. Let's talk about the foods that are in season this week in the UK and why we should be eating them and why we should focus on all that kind of stuff. My name's Gail. I am the energy-led woman. I talk about all things life and lifestyle, but from an energy-led perspective, because I lead an energetically led life, which in effect basically means that I tune into the energy within me, around me, within food, what I absorb, and I use that to navigate my life. Whatever, something like that. Anyway, so I recently started, I say recently, actually that's a bit of a fib because this has been going on for probably about 3 years, but I started to understand the importance of eating foods that are seasonal. And the foods that are around in our soils, available to us locally, are actually really, really important for helping the body to move through the year too. So this is something that I am playing around with. This is something that I use. This is something that I lean into when it comes to menu planning, preparing what I'm doing for the week, all that kind of stuff. So to help me, if you follow my channel, you will know that I am a self-projected projector. What that means is that I I find my truth through my voice and through the way I speak about things and the frequency. I embody who I am through this process too, because the throat chakra or center is our tool for manifestation. It's a tool for frequency, all that kind of stuff. So the more I talk about this kind of stuff, the more it becomes part of me and part of my life. So this is for me, but you can take from this whatever you want to, whatever lights you up, whatever activates you. And that's really the vibe of this for me, is you watch, I speak for my own purposes, I create a video, I put it out there, you will watch the video, and as you're watching the video, what will happen is you will get energy, activations, little sparks, little whatever, and it will trigger you to go and then maybe change something in your diet. It might make you go and actually research something else, whatever. That is the point. That is the point. So, enough rambling. I am recording this on the 2nd of March, Monday the 2nd of March 2026. The world's going chaotic right now. It's just gone absolutely crazy this weekend in the Middle East. Who knows where that's going to take us. However, let's dig into this and focus on this right now. I do have thoughts on what's going on in the Middle East, and I will share them when I have gathered them properly and processed them, or should I say, when I've gathered them properly enough to process them. But right now, let's just dig into the food around us and why we should be tuning into seasonal food, how it's supporting us, how this food is helping us as we transition into the next seasons and onwards. So, we are in the in-between portal right now. We are in the final weeks of winter. So, Winter ends with the spring equinox on the 21st of March. So while winter is fading and spring is kind of coming through right now, we're still not quite in spring. So we've got this winter not done yet and spring not here yet kind of vibe. So we're really in this kind of transition between the two, okay? So throughout winter, roots are our stable energy source. They are the backbone of what we should be eating. Roots are in the ground in the winter, and they are soaking up all the nourishment that is coming from the ground, because there's not much nourishment coming down from the sun. It's cloudy, it's rainy, it's all that kind of stuff. However, in the ground holds all that energy, all that life force that it's gathered through the year, and it's pushing it into our carrots, our parsnips, our beetroot, our swedes, our celeriacs, our potatoes. It's pushing it into all that. So that's where the nourishment and the backbone of our food should be. Now, that kind of corresponds with where we are in winter. We're very inwards. We're very kind of soaking up kind of our own nourishment. Everything's kind of closed. We're focused inwards. We're changing we're working on the inside, not on the outside over winter. And that's how our roots help to support us. They are like the slow burning logs on the fire. So these are going to keep us going. They're going to satiate us. They're going to give us the nourishment that we need. And so those are still there, and they are still the backbone. Winter hasn't gone yet. We're still in that backbone energy. So eating a lot of that kind of stuff is really going to support. Now, what's coming through to help us, or what is there to help us move into spring, is our leafy greens, okay? So we've got things like the Savoy cabbage, the curly kale, the leeks, the purple sprouting broccoli right now, and watercress, right? These are kind of like the light. It's kind of the brightness. It's kind of lifting us. It's the lightness, okay? So what that's doing as well is it's taking us from, it's bringing us to life, okay? Let me put it that way. It's bringing our digestive system back to life, our systems, our inner processes. So it's helping support liver detox pathways. It's stimulating the digestion. It's clearing the sluggishness from the body. This dark green kind of vibe is just helping all that, okay? It's anti-inflammatory, okay? It's mineral rich, and it's kind of really kind of powerful at helping us to start kind of coming back to life, lightening up, brightening up, it's that kind of thing, okay? So then we have our fruit. So we're talking things like apples, British apples. We're talking pears. We've got forced rhubarb coming through at the moment. Again, the idea behind this kind of fruit is it's almost like sustainable sugars. It's not about flooding the body full of sugar. It's about gently brightening it and allowing this kind of sugar to come through. So generally around this time, daylight's increasing, our circadian rhythm is beginning to recalibrate. So having these things like this supportive intake of slow sugars in apples and pears and rhubarb, the greens that are starting to lift us, and my science might not be on here, but like the chlorophyll within the greens is helping to support us and giving us that energy as well. And then we've got that backbone of that root veg that's kind of like helping us. So I've written down here, the root veg is anchoring, the greens are circulation, and the fruit is to lighten us up. So that's kind of like the vibe of the food around us this week. I will be playing around in that. I will be aiming for recipes and meals that kind of incorporate that. I did go through a stage of trying to only eat that, but actually that's actually quite difficult, because unless you just want to eat kind of like roasted carrots every single night, there's not that much variation right now. But I am trying to keep away from the truly summer things. I ease away at the moment anyway from nightshades, because nightshades are inflammatory and I don't want any inflammatory responses in my body right now. So nightshades are things like your tomatoes, your peppers, white potatoes. So I'm kind of edging away from that kind of food anyway. But what I'm trying to, right now for me, it's not a time to be eating strawberries and raspberries and things like that. Partly because they are, you've got your kind of like your transport, you're not kind of getting these things locally, but kind of because while they are full of minerals and vitamins and all that kind of stuff, and any piece of mineral, vitamin, whatever that supports us is amazing, right now the body doesn't need kind of what the body needs fluctuates through the year, and being able to focus more on these foods allows me to get what my body needs right now, rather than focusing on foods that are potentially more expensive, are potentially have more impact on the environment, and are potentially not really while they're helping my body in general, they're probably not really or totally supportive of the point in the season that we're at. So that's kind of my kind of vibe at the moment. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm kind of focusing my menu on, and the foods that I'm going to eat for the week ahead. This time of year is still, we're still getting the feelings for, the vibes for the stews, the soups, the casseroles, the oven roasted stuff, the warming stuff. And so when we can add some spices in and herbs that kind of help reflect that, you know, your things like your thyme, your cumins, that kind of thing that just gives that warming feel to the food is really good as well. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I've got to tell you on food for this week. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Is there anything else? No, I think that's it, guys. So I'll be here next week giving you a seasonal update on the week ahead. Yeah, enjoy your seasonal, your root veg, your greens, and your fruits, your apples, your pears, and your rhubarbs. See you later.